Hello, what's your team?
Team Sunbear.
Cool, and what's your game about?
It's like a space western, and you're like a scavenger, and you blow up a ship, and you basically explore it and try and collect like a currency, which are these little fairy lantern dudes that stay like.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many people are in your team?
There's 8 of us.
Cool, and how long has the game been in production for?
8 weeks. Yeah, just 8 weeks.
Alright, so just the duration of Dare.
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to my review of the Dare version of From the Verge to the Void. From the Verge to the Void is a physics game set in space. It's a lot like the Blue Star missions in Super Mario Galaxy, except you play as somebody with a tether who can grapple to any solid object. The player must maneuver themselves around the 3D space and grab valuables from the wreckage of a spaceship. This game attempts to have a narrative which I like. The game starts with a long cutscene of your character blowing up a doomed spaceship, and in the rubble there are several audio logs which detail the events leading up to the spaceship becoming doomed. The game says it has a Western theme, and that is most apparent in the audio logs. The story is corny, the voice acting is over the top, and I found it very entertaining. I was compelled to fly around just to find every audio log for this reason. The physics are fun, but could use a little tweaking. They took some getting used to, because when the character grapples onto something, they don't accelerate towards it, but suddenly jump to top speed and then begin to decelerate when they let go. This is fine for covering large distances, but sometimes there is a collectible in the middle of 3 objects, and it is difficult for a player to maneuver themselves to the correct position without flinging themselves all over the map. An acceleration period for the first second or two of the grapple, like in Super Mario Galaxy equivalent, would allow for the precision movement needed to grab some of these collectibles. Hitting collectibles could be improved as well. Currently they have physics hitboxes, so if a player hits one straight on, they can bounce off it unexpectedly. I also didn't notice any loud sound effect when collecting objects, making it feel like less of an achievement and more confusing, as I looked back to make sure I'd actually collected the pickup. I don't think the physics hitboxes add anything, so I would recommend removing them, and more instant feedback should be given when a pickup is collected. There might have been some, but I was busy concentrating on my next grapple path, so I didn't notice. There is also a tight time limit in which a player must grab as many valuables as possible and then return to their ship. This made me unsure of what the developers were going for. If they were going for a high score game, the timer would make sense, because then it would be very hard to collect everything and get back to the ship. But then, why is there audio logs and a potential perfect score? On the other hand, if the game is about exploration and the universe, the audio logs make sense, but then why is the strict time limit in place that makes it hard to enjoy or even find all of the audio logs? In conclusion, From the Verge to the Void teases at the tip of a hammy western iceberg which I would love to see more of. A bit more tweaking of the grapple mechanic to help some of the more precise movement, and more details about who we were playing as and why they do what they do could lead to a fun adventure, as long as I could actually grab all the audio logs in time without it becoming frustrating because of the strict time limits.